On tonight's episode, the Force is with me as I take a shot on a vintage gun.
Han Solo's blaster from the first Star Wars is based on this actual model pistol.
Did you bring the ammo? Then, a letter from the King of Horror has Corey shaking in his boots.
The guy is just a prolific writer.
Any idea what you're looking to get out of it?
I'm looking around 2,000.
So I wanted to give you the backstory on how I made it on pawnstars. So this is what happened. To go back a few years ago in the 80s when I was a kid, my mother was a huge Stephen King fan. I remember she had her books everywhere. The hard copies, the paperbacks, everywhere, right? So of course I'm a kid and I don't realize anything until many, many years ago after the fact that my mother loved the book The Shining. And when the movie came out, she didn't like the movie. And for the life of me, I don't know how. I never heard my mother tell me the story of how she was able to get Stephen King's address. But my mother wrote Stephen King a letter saying how she didn't like the movie versus the book. And Lord and behold, Stephen King wrote her back. And after she passed away from cancer a few years ago, I went through her things in storage unit and found the letter. I had already been following Stephen King on Twitter. So what I did was I put the letter on Twitter, hoping that Stephen King would see it. And I don't know if he saw it, but the people from Pawnstars saw it. And they got in touch with me and they asked if it was real. They asked for my phone number. So then I get a call from the producers. I received calls from the producers in Vegas, California, and New York, asking me about the autograph, the story behind it, etc., etc. Now mind you, this was all during COVID too, so I'm talking to them during COVID. They're getting ready to send me tickets to go to Vegas. So my flight leaves out of Knoxville to go to Vegas, December 2021. I was there in Vegas 1.5 days. I wasn't even there 2 days. So this is what happened. I flew into Vegas. The minute I get into Vegas, they take me to the doctor's office for a COVID shot. They paid for my hotel there. I stayed at the D Hotel, which was right on the Vegas Strip. And I walked to the Pawnstars shop, which was about maybe a 30-minute walk. And they told me to get there about 6:30 in the afternoon, 6:30 at night. And I'll go there, and I was there for almost like 6 hours. They were so incredibly nice. I want to show you the actual letter. Dear Suzanne Hussey, sorry to be so long getting back to you, but it's been a hectic summer. I've gotten a lot of mail regarding the movie version of The Shining, and your reaction is fairly typical to most of it. When the author sells his work to the movies, he just has to bite his tongue and hope for the best. Thank you for the kind words about my work, though, and I would hope you enjoy my next book, Firestarter. That's another thing. When I met the appraiser, the autograph appraiser, he liked the fact that this Firestarter was mentioned in the autograph. So there it is, 1980. Then once you flip it over, look at that. Again, I don't know how my mother found his address. You can see 1980, cost 10 cents, and that was my address back home in Rhode Island.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
think I've got something you like there. The letter from Stephen King from 1980.
Where'd you get it?
It was my late mother's. She was a huge Stephen King fan, and when The Shining came out, she did not like the movie at all. And I don't know how she got his address, but he replied very quickly.
Maybe he was still in the phone book. Who knows?
I'm at the pawn shop today hoping to sell my 1980 Stephen King autographed letter. The letter was very sentimental to me because it was my mother's who passed away from cancer 5 years ago. I'm hoping to get $2,000 for my Stephen King autograph. I'm willing to negotiate on the price because I don't want to leave Vegas empty-handed.
This is cool. The guy is just a prolific writer. And to go from stuff like It, The Stand, Firestarter, The Shining, Cujo, Carrie, to Shawshank Redemption, it just shows what a massive range he had. This guy will be forever and always remembered as one of the greatest writers of the 20th century, whether you like him or not. Let me just read this here. I've gotten a lot of mail regarding the movie version of The Shining, and your reaction is fairly typical. When an author sells his work to the movies, he's just kind of got to bite his tongue and hope for the best. Though I hope you'll enjoy my new book, Firestarter. Be well, Stephen King. Okay, I heard Stephen King didn't even like the way Stanley Kubrick made the movie. Apparently, the rest of the world did, because it's probably one of the top 5 horror movies of all time. Jack Nicholson's probably biggest role of his career up until that point. Just a massive success as a film. All that being said, what are you looking to do with it?
I would like to sell it.
Any idea what you're looking to get out of it?
I'm looking around 2,000.
2,000, okay. I have to assume Stephen King got a lot of fan mail. And with writing all these books, is he really still writing letters to people? Maybe this was kind of pre-typed up and his secretary signed them or something like that. Do you mind if I have somebody come down and take a look at it?
Oh, not at all.
Okay, well, do me a favor, hang out. I'll be back in a little bit, okay?
Thank you. I have no problem with someone looking at the autograph because I know it's real and genuine.
There's a guy in the shop with an autograph letter from Stephen King from 1980. He's asking $2,000 for it, but I can't tell if Stephen King really signed it or not. So I called in Steve Grad to help me figure it out. Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Corey, good to see you. Good. How you doing?
How you doing?
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
What's happening?
So this is what I called you about. Signed letter from Stephen King?
It's not something you see every day.
I ain't never seen one.
He's not like a big letter writer to people. He writes books.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of find it odd that he would be responding to his own fan mail.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are so busy. They're writing books. Do you think he's got time to sit around and just pick through fan mail? But once in a while, it's possible his secretary said, hey, this is a special one. I think you should answer it. So that is possible. Is it likely? I'd still be on the fence on that.
Absolutely. So, you want to take a look at it?
Yeah, sure. The first thing I want to do is take a look at the ink on here and see if we're dealing with a top here. And a lot of intersection, a lot of overlapping. That's pretty perfect for him. King's autograph, oddly enough, hasn't really varied that much through the years. The thing I look for is his neatness. He liked to take a lot of pride in his signature. Well, this is from '83, so 3 years later. This is about the same time frame, and it's almost the same type of writing. The overlapping is very consistent here, and I mean extremely consistent. This is definitely his autograph, and a really cool piece.
I really was almost positive it was like a secretary or something like that.
And that's usually how it ends up, and you've seen enough of this stuff, so you know that.
All right, so what's something like this go for?
Well, this and the condition it's in, you have a little wear here. It's a cool piece. Value on the market these days is right around $600.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
So, I get what you're thinking. I mean, it's a one-of-a-kind piece. But, it's personalized in a way that's going to mean more to you than it does anybody else. So, I would do $300.
Oh, I don't know. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got to make some money on it.
Yeah, I understand. And you're right. It ain't very sentimental to me. So...
would you go $350?
No, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, if you ever change your mind, I'm always here, okay?
All right, thank you so much. Have a good day. I was really hoping for a better offer, but it's all right. I'll just keep it in my mother's memory.